It's 2026, and I have some pretty big plans. So this is a recap of everything I've done in 2025 on this Forever World. So sit back, relax, and let's get into episode 1.
Have you noticed anything recently in the Minecraft community?
The Minecraft Forever World
is the Forever World.
playing on a Forever World.
The Minecraft Forever World.
Forever worlds in Minecraft.
But is the Forever World really the future of Minecraft? Like, realistically, when you think about it, has a Forever World ever been said to be good or bad? Today I'll start my own Forever World and spend 24 hours in it to see if it's actually a good thing. I don't want to waste any time, so let's begin.
Okay, and it's buried. Yes! I don't know how I didn't see this. Diamonds. That's 1, 2, 3, 4! There we go. And all that activity took up the first day of the world, so I think it's time to sleep. Now, the reason why I specifically wanted this book and quill is so I could write down anything that I want to write down for the world. If you do enjoy this, please let me know, like just a comment or a like or something like that, and it would tell me that I should actually make videos like this, because if you don't like this, I just won't do this, and I'll do what the viewers want. The viewers being you. Also, there's a jungle right there. There's like a behind the waterfall right here. I think one thing a lot of people do in their worlds when they start something new is that they always look for like the perfect place, quote unquote, to build. But I'm not gonna be doing that. I'm just gonna be looking for somewhere that actually has like materials that I might need, and then I'll just settle there. Like, I've traveled like nearly 2,500 blocks from spawn, but that's because spawn didn't have any of the materials that I wanted. And let's be clear, those materials are not villagers. I'm not gonna be like grinding anything up. Like right here, for example, is a pretty good spot. You know, there's a lot of open space. There is a village, ironically. I'm unsure if I'll even actually like mess around with villagers in this entire video. That is like a lot of good material. This world is just very profitable. Now, I'll probably settle somewhere in relation to this mountain, so let me just check around it a little bit. I do want one thing in this world, and I want everything to be connected, so I am willing to move villagers or have to travel for my villagers. So moving to the other side of this mountain doesn't, you know, hurt me that much. I do kind of like up here, though, between these two cherries. Now, the giant hole, or like the dip in over here, and how there's like only like a limited amount of space between these two things, it's not the greatest, but it's also not bad. So I think this is where I'm settling. Let's just put away the stuff we won't need for now, you know, like gold boots we can make later, or like the buried treasure map and water breathing potions from the start. And now the inventory is clear, so let's start this journal. The Forever World journal will be started on today's date, as of the first day of recording this, so you can get a reference on how long this took me to edit, unless I just crammed it in a couple of days. Considering I have about 23.5 more hours to play on this world, I do want to write down the goals that I will be completing for the rest of this video. Now, of course, we need a house, and you can't have a house without having, you know, roads to go along that house, because we want to connect everything. Now, when writing these goals, I'm also going to write incomplete, because I'd rather not erase them, but write them as complete, so I can go back and see the roads and projects we've completed over time. I think a food farm would be good. I do think a map, or like a map room, would show the world pretty well, and it's something I can look at over time. And I'm also going to add in a little secret room that I'm not going to show you until later. So, looking at the first goal, the first goal on our list is to simply just make a house, which I do plan to make a house and then expand the house. However, to make a house, I need a block palette, so let's do that. I think some cherry wood would be pretty well. And I think I'll just put down the palette right here by putting down the stripped cherry wood and the cherry planks. But on the bright side of this entire forest being chopped down, at least I have a new spot to build. I am the good. Now, even though we went the wrong way, we're going after that wood over there. Alright, and now that we're here, you want to see a magic trick? Watch this. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Bam! I don't know if that was clean or not. I don't think it was. But yeah. Watch this. Ready? 3, 2, 1. I am the goat. So that adds oak and birch to the palette. It's looking pretty good so far. I think the next thing we're gonna do, aside from wood, is maybe get some leaves and some stony materials. Alright, and then after all that mining, we get some stone and cobblestone in the palette, and I think I only want some green now. And once we add in oak leaves and maybe some bricks, I think we have a pretty good palette here. You got 3 woods, some stones, and then, you know, some decorative blocks. The first thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to level all of this land down 1 block so I can get rid of all this like waviness and like this hole here. Okay, it's a bit hard to see because all my stuff was still up 1 level, but everything has been brought down. You can see like there's a little bit of grass that hasn't been grown yet. I think to start off, we can go with a classic square. Yep, then we can add in a little bit of a circle on the corner. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's the idea I have. I think the first thing to do would probably be able to set down, you know, like some flooring. Alright, well, at least it's looking good. Let's go get some more birch. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Oh! No! Bro! Is my bed gone? I think it destroyed my bed, bro. Deep 1. Well, I'm gonna put some of this away, because before we continue any production, we must get iron. Alright, we are going to travel until we find a cave suitable enough to get us at least enough iron for new tools and hopefully armor. I didn't bring them up earlier, but I guess now, because I'm gonna be doing this, which is pretty boring, I can talk about it right now, especially because it's going to relate to this armor. I have a few rules that I want to do to make this an actually forever world. Now, I'm unsure if I'll maintain this rule, but I quite literally might not use an Elytra. Like, straight. Just not use it. Elytras are very good and very overpowered at that, but I think they're not necessary, and if I really do want to make my world look very good, I just don't have to use them. Another thing that might change over time, but I'm pretty sure on right now, is the use of mending. I don't think I'm going to use it. I'd rather break my tools. And that's how it relates to armor. I don't think I'm going to craft iron pants until these leather ones break. And I don't think I'll get diamond armor until my iron armor breaks. And netherite might not even come after diamond. I might just make another set of diamond. I just don't think it's completely necessary to be able to fly throughout my world. I might use it. I might eventually come to the use of, like, I'll have specific areas where I can fly from this to this with an Elytra, but I really do think that there's other forms of travel. You know, boating, ice boating in the nether, minecart. I have some really good ideas for this world, but it might be worse with an Elytra. And I think we also found our cave. I smelled some coal. I don't know. You don't have to. So while doing all this mining, I ended up finding an amethyst geode, which my natural instinct was to find the geode and then just go F3, F2, like that, and, you know, take a screenshot. However, that's the entire purpose of this book. So I can just go in here, create a new page, locations, and then bam, amethyst geode. And then just go 119, -8, -1191. Alright, well, I'm leaving because I fully ran out of food, but we definitely have gotten some spoils here, as you can see. So many diamonds, but we won't be using any of them. Okay, I was paused. Now that we found our way back, this is what I was trying to show. There's a skeleton spawner right here, and it's right by the start of this cave. I died right over here. It was right there, and the reason I died was because I found it and then I couldn't get away from it because I could not run. I've said the word foundation like 3 times while building this house, so I don't want to say I'm building the foundation more, but I'm setting up the support beams and everything now. Out of everything, I do kind of want to work on the top of this little tower thing right here. So to do that, I need to do 2 things. I need to get a bunch of diorite, and I need to get a bunch more oak wood. Because I have 51 oak planks, and in here, I have 0 more oak wood. And trust me, we will be using these leaves. We will be using these leaves. You just gotta give it some time. Alright, well, I got all the materials, and then I fixed all the diorite, and then I built the actual roof, and... oh, wow, I actually really do like that. I enjoy that a lot. This is my first time actually, like, stepping back and looking at it, and I really do enjoy that, I'll be honest. Alright, well, now that this is ready, I can finally build this, which I'm kind of just gonna lay out a rough design for here. That's life. That's life. Yeah, now I'm gonna do that. We can add more in the future, like pots and stuff, like more than just these 2. But I think the house is finally done. Actually, low-key spent way too long in the house, I won't lie. But I can go to the, I can mark the house as complete. Oh. Wow. I think the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go all the way back over to where I was mining before, and I'm going to go into that skeleton spawner and get the loot from that. Because that'll also give me a saddle where I can get a horse, because I'm going to want a horse for the map room later. Basically what we do is we put a pressure plate here and 14 redstone here, and the maximum level horse can get through all of these fence gates. However, our horse is pretty slow, so I don't think it's going to get through that many. Now, if it can't even reach the fence gates, that means it has a score of 5 or lower. If it gets through 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Let's see what this horse gets. Got through 2, so I think it has a speed of 7. How much is that? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Is that 10 or 11? One of the 2. It's really strong. this actually might be faster. This horse right here might be faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think it's faster. Now that we've established ourselves well, and we have a horse, once we can just put this on him, I now actually want to go out and search for other material to build some more. I think I'll just head out this way. All my tools are actually nearly broken, but it's fine because of all the iron we collected. And I'm also going to bring it back, just in case. To be completely honest, I don't even care if the materials I'm searching for are super far away, because it'll establish what's rare and what's not rare in this world. I turned my render distance up, and it does seem like there's a jungle way out that way. It's the kind of journey like this that a lot of people will miss when they use elytras for everything after collecting an elytra in 2 minutes. I don't have any big biomes on, by the way, so this is all just natural generation of just oak, you know, small mountains and birch. Now the more specific resource I'm looking for is spruce wood and dark oak wood. And part of the reason why I want it also ties into the fact that we just have not found it yet in this world. Usually they aren't too hard to find, but we've traveled a good distance and not found anything. So I have a design idea for the horse stable. However, I want it to resemble like luxury. And what better way to represent luxury than some luxury wood? And to get luxury wood, we're gonna need to find some luxury wood. And I think this mountain will lead us there. If you don't know, Minecraft biomes actually generate in patterns. So considering that this is a icy peak, or whatever it's called, it might be a snowy peak, but it has ice and snow on it, I can tell this is a cold biome. And since I know it's a cold biome, I know spruce trees are afoot. There's some, but I would like an actual biome that I know I can go to. It's the kind of generation that you'll only see if you travel on horseback. Oh, is that a spruce? I think we're coming up on, oh, right here too. Alright, well, it's turning nighttime. Let's hope our horse doesn't accidentally walk into the powdered snow and die. I'm gonna sleep, and then I'm gonna chop down this very, 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 very small forest. Oh yeah. From a far away like this, like returning, it's a W base. I can't get over it. I'm like low-key self-glazing. That's the tech, by the way. Whenever your horse is about to go under, you should start going backwards, because you end up going backwards on a horse a lot slower than faster, so you don't actually lose that much. And going backwards means that when you get kicked off the horse, you're gonna push the horse forward. Because if I were to continue going forward, when I get off the horse will be sent backward. Compared to if I'm going backward, the horse will be sent forward. Now we have spruce. I actually do want to go find some dark oak, so I'm actually going to go this way or over there instead of that way. There it is, right there, dark oak. Sun is setting, I'm going to sleep soon, and then we're going to chop down all this way. Alright, let me just pick these up. I chopped a couple dark oak trees, but you might see all these stumps and be like, okay, that's a good bit of dark oak. But each dark oak tree gives you around 40 logs, so I got a couple of logs. So the reason why we got all that wood is so we can actually pretty up, this horse measuring thingy. So the first thing I want to do is actually clear out and flatten this land. Now that we've cleared all that out, I actually do want to start the process immediately. The process as in, like, building it. Now, one thing I do want to do is actually want to preserve, like, most of the natural, like, generation, but as inspiration for custom generation, if that makes sense. So, this waterfall, I kind of had to clear out the little hole that was right down here, but I still kept it here. Now, I'm not going to keep it there. I'm going to move it so it actually falls into this hole. And I'm going to do a couple other things. So, let's do that real quick. While it's not the most detailed build, I will say, I think it's good for, serving its purpose of just, holding the actual horses. Plus, I can finally have a place to put the horse when I'm not using it. Especially considering before it was just in the house. Not to mention it has the implemented design of being able to test the horse's speed. Slowly via building builds not connected to each other, but also very accessible by road, which we'll do very soon. I think it'll bring it all together as a community of builds. Keep hatching those eggs and keep getting chickens, but I haven't gotten specifically what I wanted. So now that the horse stables are finished, I kind of just want to work on the next thing I have planned. And to do that, I'm going to need all this sugarcane. And now we have the sugarcane from that. We can make 9 empty maps. And we can visually see where we live. So we can start by placing the middle map, and then if we connect all the other maps on the sides, they all line up. Now by adding the corners, you get a detailed look at the entire surrounding area. Now we just need a place to actually put all these maps down, and I'll be honest, I think the top of this hill that we fully chopped all the trees off of earlier is a pretty good position. Now let's put these dark planks here to represent where the map will go. I think it would like a circular design around it. Now it's a pretty small map for now, so I don't think we need a ton of area. I think this looks about fine. I just don't want it to be an actual floating platform. And then now I'm just gonna take all these maps and place in our item frames. And there we go, now the map is set up. One thing you might remember from earlier is that we actually had a secret room that I haven't built yet. So I kinda wanna build it right in this little cave because I think it's big enough to fit exactly what I need to fit, but it's also small enough that it's not gonna feel empty. Alright, and now we have all the signs placed in. We just gotta write on every single one of them, and on all these ones I gotta write on the backs of them too. The local demon. Rice the Ricey. Enter. I fully recognize that it's been like 5 months, so I'm sorry. This is what I'm trying to do. You will forever be remembered in this world. Skeleton bones. Devin, Goodfellow, CG, Clark, Bali, Corn 109. If you did watch the entirety of me doing that, then you'll know that I left out one very, very important name. It's gonna go right here. Rap 2. This right here is every single person, including Rap, who has commented on that video. I'm grateful to you all. I didn't get it on recording. I didn't get it on recording. My recording, it was insufficient space. I ran out of space on my computer because I was recording so much of this video, and I just got it. These 4. I need to go get... Hold on. I've been waiting for this entire time. I've only killed 1 chicken by accident. You can see all the chickens around here. There's some in my base stuck in that fence. There's some there. You know, they're everywhere. And every time I collect one of their eggs, I don't save it. I immediately throw it to try and get a chicken. And I didn't get it on camera, bro. But I got 4 chicken eggs. 4 chickens hatched from 1 egg, which is like a 300-something %, 1 in 300 chance or whatever. And those are all 4 of them are gonna be my pets. Okay, so I fished until I ran out of string to craft more fishing rods, and I really did not get any name tags at all. However, we did get another wandering trader, so we have 4 leads now. Oh, we hit it. Full day played. I had like no time left to not actually do anything, so I just kind of like low-key waited a little bit. So yeah, if you really did enjoy this entire journey that we've gone through today, I really hope you did. Because honestly, I feel like this is the next step. So yeah, and with that, have a great day and chase passion. Oops. Now, if that seemed outdated or a different editing style, well, you'll see as my editing progresses with episode 2.
There's a certain phenomenon that constantly shows up in Minecraft. A lot of people start a Minecraft world, and one of the first things they'll do is they'll build a farm for like every single resource in the game. Then, after they have every single resource in the game, they'll just wire it all up so that they don't need to do anything because everything is done by redstone. And in doing that, you achieve something that happens commonly in Minecraft, called, not having to play the game anymore. However, unlike some people, I like to play the game, but that also doesn't mean that you shouldn't use redstone. Like, you should explore every part of the game, and that's what I'm gonna do today. And there is actually a reason to do this, because we're gonna need to do a lot of things that involve food and like wheat and bread. I think wheat's just a very big resource. So I'm gonna make a wheat farm using redstone that doesn't actually break the game, and here's how. Now, previously we built this house, and up there we have our enchanting setup. However, our enchanting setup has one major flaw, and that's that it doesn't have an enchantment table and it doesn't have any books in it at all. So I'm gonna fix that. Now, aside from the enchantment table, another thing we did was get a horse. And he's gonna be pretty useful. But something even more useful is going to sleep. Now, I'm on the lookout for some horses. And if you're wondering the reason why we need horses, it's because we need leather, and we also need sugarcane. Now, if you know Minecraft well and see my tools are iron and unenchanted, you'll probably know exactly what I'm using the leather and sugarcane for. I'm going to be using it for books. Now, the reason why I'm going to need books is because I would like an enchantment table. And you might be saying like, oh, why do you need an enchantment table? You literally don't have diamond armor yet. Well, there's actually a reason behind that. My world specifically has a couple rules to it. And the big 3 rules that I have is 1, no mending, because mending incites you to make 1 armor set and 1 tool set and then never make anything else again, ruining the progression. I'd much rather look at my used tools as an accomplishment of what I've used them for, rather than a task that I must complete to use them again. The second rule I have is that I also don't want to use an elytra, which you might be thinking, that's kind of crazy. I don't want to use mending, one of the best enchantments, and then I also don't want to use an elytra, the #1 best form of movement. But the reason I don't want to use an elytra is similar to the mending. I'd much rather, put in the work to get to places I haven't gotten to before and make those places more of like a luxury to get there, rather than just fly there. Because once you get an elytra, you can go anywhere. And the third and final rule is that I also don't want to rush my progression. In my storage at my house, I have enough to get full diamond tools and armor, everything. However, I don't actually want to get that. I'd rather use the iron armor. I want to feel weak until I need to feel strong. Having the ability to be strong is something you could earn through the process of being weak. I'm kind of just like throwing out quotes here. I don't even know. I'm kind of like low-key yapping. Maybe I should build Vinland Saga in Minecraft. Who knows? Now, of course, if you're making an enchantment table, you need 2 things. 1, you need to use 2 diamonds, and 2, you need obsidian, which to get 4 obsidian, you're probably going to need a diamond pick, or you're going to have to, scrounge around. I will be making a diamond pick just to get the obsidian, but I'm not going to do much else. And while I won't be ruining my progression, I am also going to have to use a diamond pick to get a nether portal, because I do need a couple soul sand. But after that, the diamond pick is away. Now, while we don't have all the leather we might need, we can use this leather and the sugarcane with paper to make books. So with the next step being making the diamond pickaxe, let's just go get that obsidian. Now, while I was out there, I also grabbed some magma blocks that we can use later. Now, if I just make one of my diamond blocks into diamonds, I can make an enchantment table. Clearly, the next step is just to get level 30, and thankfully, in the last video, we found a mob farm. Or I guess, should I say that we found a mob spawner that we can turn into a mob farm. So, let's go do that. Now, I think I'm gonna put
the nether portal down here. Now, as I've stated previously, I don't want to abuse the nether and go to it in like episode 2 as I am now, sadly. But I do want to just get maybe a stack of soul sand so I don't have to come back here. And mission success. And now with 2 buckets, some wood, maybe some cobblestone, I grabbed a hopper and some soul sand. I think we should be good to go build that farm. So let's get on our horse. Now I don't exactly have a good way to get down here. So I think I'm just gonna take my horse down and hope I can figure out a way to get him out. And I guess let's just make the farm. And as I'm working on digging out where the skeletons will fall into after they do fall damage, my pick just broke. It is currently daytime out, but the sun is setting, and it's actually day 99 of the world. So we're about to hit day 100 on episode 2. Which I actually don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, considering it is only episode 2. Holy. Oh wow. Alright, day 99. Here it comes. Day 100. So now that that's set up, basically, they'll all be funneled into there, they'll shoot up using the soul sand, and then they'll fall back down. I'll just be able to kill them right there. There we go. And now that we've killed a couple skeletons, we finally have level 30. Oh, okay, so I have Silk Touch and I have this. So theoretically, I just combine both of these. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Silk Touch pick until it's at half durability, and then use the other pick with efficiency until that's at half durability, and then I'm going to combine them so there's one pickaxe at full durability. And then when that one gets low, I'll just combine it with a plain pickaxe, because I'm probably going to have to repair this pick multiple times, because we've got a lot of digging to do. Now I'm planning to split up this build into 2 different places. I want to build one spot which is more decorative and storage, and another spot which is more factorial, if that's the word. Now I already know that right here is prime location for the more, like designed build that's just for look. However, the part of this build that's more like for a factory has to go somewhere near here because it's designed to be for this open land behind me. At first I was thinking right here, but I think a better location would be right over here, as in right about here. And then we're gonna dig down and underground. So just like every good build, it all starts with the crafting tables. I'm gonna use my Silk Touch pick first because I do want to get some of this stone. And then now, with some stone and cobble, I can start laying out what looks to be absolutely nothing at all, I'm not gonna lie. Just please trust the process with this. If we then alternate some stone, like this, a little indent here, just a little bit of that, kind of starts looking like something. You can start to see the wall coming together. Now if we just add in a little bit of, dirt on top, use some of our very, very, very little iron we have left to make some lanterns. That looks like a cave. So now that we have a cave that we just need to mine out, we can start the best part of the process. I get to sit and mine for a couple hours and maybe watch YouTube. Let's go. Okay, so I did like an hour-and-a-half long replay, and you probably just saw the entire thing. And I low-key forgot the beginning of the replay, so it was already like slightly decorated. But I low-key dug out. I did a lot. There's a hidden redstone behind here. The wires all the way back to there, so if I flick it, it'll just send down all the water, and the water will send down to here. And if there's anything over there, it'll all flow off this, then down into there, and then I have to make more stuff over here. Dude, this is actually like a lot of work, and I'm only just now realizing how much I've done. Dude, it's like so long. But anyway, the next thing I have to do is actually get ice, because we already have the silk touch, so this shouldn't be too hard. Everything flows here, but I still need to make it go into auto sorter, so it automatically sorts out the seeds, because I want the seeds to be here. And then I have to make a bunch of catacombs for all the wheat. So to do that, I need ice, because I need to use the soul sand from earlier to do a bunch of stuff, and you're going to see that now. Even with all the places I've been to in this world, actually I really don't know where I can get ice. I know that some far over that way, like 5,000 blocks, is ice, I think. But there's also like 5,000 blocks away. And in reality, the only directions we've been is that way, that way, and that way. So what if we theoretically went that way? So I'm just gonna go travel this direction until I get ice. Now the reason we got the ice to put the ice here, so now when the items are flowing this way, they're gonna flow through the ice, and the ice will continue pushing them until they're on this block, and then this block will shoot them up. For example, if I throw that there, that'll continue going, and it'll slide all the way through. They'll float down, they'll use the ice to float over, and then they'll get launched up by the soul sand. Basically, I put 4 non-regular Minecraft items. These are non-regular items because it's not their correct name. It's not called dirt. Then, by putting a stack of seeds, it'll slowly filter the seeds until there's exactly 41 seeds left. Don't make any jokes. This comparator reads that there's exactly 45 items, 41 plus the original 4 that I put in there. It'll give an exact signal of 3, which will activate this, powering this, making sure that this is powered on. Then with this powered on, it locks this hopper from taking in any more seeds. So any seeds that are thrown onto here will be shrunk down until there's only 47 left. And anything left will be given here. And then if it's something that isn't seeds, like these quartz, the hopper will always be filled, so it won't go into it. Then by doing this, we can now auto sort the items. So as we continue building, that'll all grow, and then we can actually test it out for ourselves. And now, once our tunnels are done, we can start actually planting crops. However, I already did all that. I low-key forgot to check back in, I'm not gonna lie. But really all it is that all the tunnel systems end with coming up here and going right into these item hoppers. And yes, if you're wondering, just like the previous video, I put all my comments into a box in there. However, if you want to see it, here's a picture, but you really have to look at the world download. Which I don't know when I'm going to release the world download, but it'll happen at some point, trust. The main reason why I'm not just plainly showing it is because I do want to keep some rooms, like for example the sign room and the catacombs, completely private. And that's so whenever I do release a world download, I want people to be able to explore my world. Now that that's all built and I have myself a new hoe, I only have 2 issues. 1, that I only have 2 iron ingots, and 2, that I do not have the seeds for this. I only have 61 seeds and the cave isn't even filled up yet. But the easiest way, besides just punching grass to get seeds, is by farming wheat, which is what I'm currently doing. And the fastest way to get that wheat is with bone meal from bones, which thankfully we built a bone farm at the start of this video. So I think I am gonna go get those bones. And with about 3 stacks of bone meal, I have 1 stack exactly left over, but this is the full field. I didn't want to do too much because I also plan to put something there in the future, but I think that's pretty good. And we also got a lot of wheat from that. I did plant some seeds earlier and they haven't fully grown, but I do want to show off the design. So if I do flick that, all of the seeds will be flowed forward, and if there's wheat there, the wheat would go too. And they all flow into there, and then up here, you can hear a dispenser click, as they'll be funneled into a dispenser. They'll be dispensed one by one, so there's no overflow of the hopper, and then it'll automatically store all the seeds into here, and all the wheat will go down the line and all the way over to there. Oh, and if you notice the sugar cane, it's slowly expanded throughout this video. And that is because I have a very big plan for my world. And it's a plan that I have not yet told you. However, I cannot yet tell you the plan. And with that, I gotta say, have a great day and chase passion. I failed again. Let's go. Now that we're well established, we can move on to episode 3, which is, in my personal opinion, the best episode I've made. Finally, my plan is complete. I can now start the largest project ever performed on a Minecraft Forever world. Okay, so why are you in the shot? Just come here. Oh my god. Anyway, welcome back to the Minecraft Forever world. Before I explain the giant project we're about to complete, in episode 1 we built this house, and in episode 2 we built this little farm in this cave right here. And while the world might look impressive, this map actually sucks. But that's actually pretty fine, because we're gonna fix that. You see, everyone on YouTube always makes the I survived 1,000 days in hardcore Minecraft, or I survived 1,000 days full movie. Crazy people will even do a full year, but nobody's ever done 1 year on one project. So the next thing we have to do, wait, what? Where in the world am I, bro? Genuinely, where is this? How far does this go on for?
Hey,
Who said that? Hello?
why are you doing this?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean.
I genuinely have zero clue.
Why?
I genuinely have no clue what you're talking about.
Come to the campfire.
Please, just who are you? At least tell me. What? What just happened? Genuinely have no clue what just happened. Seriously, who was that? Dude, what were they even asking me? Like, what do you mean, why am I doing this? I'm just playing the game. Whatever, forget about it. Here's the plan. First, I need to get the iron and the redstone for the compasses to make the maps. Then, once I get a mule for the road trip, I can actually go and explore everywhere I need to map. Well, I might as well start on the first thing, so it's time to go mining. And thankfully, there's a convenient portal right here. Sadly, I had to cut it short because my fortune pick was breaking, and I'm trying not to break any of my tools because I don't use mending in this world. Oh, and our horse doesn't actually have a name, so if you have an idea, you can put it in the comments and the most liked one will be the name of the horse. while it might seem crazy, all those materials were simply to craft compasses. I'm actually just gonna put away all the iron because I still need to go get the actual mule. Now the first thing we need to do to go get a mule is actually get carrots. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kinda just gonna steal from this village here, assuming they hopefully have carrots. They have potatoes, beetroot, wheat, but no carrots. Maybe village number 2? I think this village is like dying. I don't think there's a single farmer in this entire village. I guess village 3 then. Maybe this village, hopefully. And was that a carrot? Finally carrots. Oh my god, bro. And now the way we're going to get the mule is by breeding horses, not with golden apples, but with golden carrots. So if we just take some gold, turn it into golden nuggets, and then surround the carrots with that, we now get golden carrots. And just quickly tame him, perfect timing, and then breed our horse and donkey to get a baby mule. The reason why we specifically need a mule is because the horse is fast and the donkey can actually have a chest on it and you can store items in it. So the mule will basically be a donkey that's super fast. It's kind of funny how in the video where I try and get names for my horse, I get a mule that will, at least in this video, replace my horse. You can also just leave names for both if you want. So you may now be thinking, oh well, you got your mule, so are we done now? Actually no, because it turns out that this mule was incredibly slow, and as it turns out, wait, you can't breed 2 mules together in Minecraft? Bro. So it looks like we're gonna have to resort to plan B. You see, there's actually a small feature that many people don't know about, where if you splash both the horse, donkey, or horse and donkey if you're getting a mule, with speed or jump boost, it'll boost their effects in the offspring permanently. So it looks like I was gonna have to go to the nether and find both blaze rods and nether wart. And while I destroy these blazes, you guys should destroy that subscribe button.
Yeah, no, sorry, not sorry. You should actually unsubscribe from FunzyYT and subscribe to me, Coco, at coco.comment with 2 T's, so I can win the sub race. Because we all know I'm gonna win, and not him.
Yeah, I can't have that happen. But she is telling the truth. We are in a sub race, so consider it. And after that terrifying process, I now had to wait another 20 minutes to get this mule, but we finally had it. Now we can craft our stack of compasses. Now with all these compasses and all of this paper, we can make a full stack of empty maps. But we're also going to need this other stack of paper plus the cartography table because we're not going to be using base maps. In fact, I'm actually going to take way more than 1 stack of paper because we're going to be using level 4 size maps. You see, the reason why I need to put so much paper in here is because when you open a map, it'll be a level 1 map, and maps can go up to level 5. And it takes 1 piece of paper every single time to level it up to another size map. Every time you increase the map size from level 1 to level 5, it doubles. So it starts on 128, then goes 256, 512, and we need size 1024. I did say this is the biggest project ever performed on Minecraft Overworld, and I mean that. This is an 8,000 by 8,000 block radius. While there isn't a path connecting the house or up there, or the horse stables for example, to over here yet, I am gonna just start the path over here. So I'm just gonna put my map on my other monitor and I'm gonna get to paving. I was having a great time paving, and until right about here, after about 2 hours, when my game crashed, and the mule is just gone, so I did the rest of this on foot. It's actually snowing, so it's pretty cool, but don't worry, I'm keeping up the tradition. This is every single comment on episode 2. I don't really know exactly what these are. These maps are just lost. However, this is how big the actual map is. The full thing is 8,000 by 8,000, and a lot of the areas on this map are completely, like, just
I'm probably gonna do something here, maybe. I might do something here. I might do something over here. I'm not gonna reveal my information yet. But the biggest thing is I do have banners like there. I have one there. I have one right here, stuff like that. For future videos. But for reference on how big this is, right here there's a little bit of pink there, and there's a little bit of pink here. There's a lot of pink here. The little black dot that's right there, and the pink that's there, is that and this. So this little tiny piece right here extends all the way over here, out this way, all the way up to here, and back around here. And I'm not going to reveal what's in the center of all of this. I've got very big plans of doing one thing every single month for the entirety of 2026. My next video will be in January, and I'll explain more then, but there's going to be something happening for a long time in 2026. Okay, I still failed it after like 3 episodes. Like and subscribe. Chase passion. Have a great night. Merry Christmas. And with that, you're finally caught up. So thank you for watching. As you heard, I'm in a sub race. It would help a lot. And episode 4 is coming soon. So stay excited. Chase passion.